The money you keep matters more than the money you make, because income by itself does not build wealth. Income only gives you a chance. What you keep decides whether that chance turns into freedom or disappears into another month of bills, payments, upgrades, and stress. Most people are taught to chase a bigger number, a bigger salary, a bigger paycheck, a bigger business, a bigger income goal. And making more money can absolutely help. But here is the uncomfortable truth. If every extra dollar leaves as fast as it arrives, then more income only makes you a higher paid version of the same financial problem. You can earn more and still feel broke. You can get promoted and still feel behind. You can make a good salary and still have no real wealth, because wealth is not what passes through your account. Wealth is what stays. Income is the water flowing into the bucket. Wealth is what remains after the leaks. If the bucket has too many holes, the answer is not only to pour faster, you also have to fix the leaks. That is why some people make a lot of money and still live with pressure, while other people make less but quietly become stronger every year. The difference is not always talent. It is not always luck. It is not always who works harder. Very often, the difference is retention. How much of your money actually remains yours after the month is over? That number matters more than most people realize. Imagine two people. One earns $8,000 a month but keeps $200. The other earns $5,000 a month but keeps $1,000. On paper, the first person looks more successful. In real life, the second person is building more freedom. The first person has more income, but the second person has more financial power. Because the money you spend is gone. The money you keep can protect you, grow for you, wait for you, and give you choices. This is where people confuse cash flow with wealth. A paycheck is cash flow. A business sale is cash flow. A bonus is cash flow. But if the money immediately becomes rent, car payments, credit card bills, subscriptions, food delivery, lifestyle upgrades, and emotional spending, then the income did not become wealth. It became motion. It moved through you. You handled it, but you did not keep it. That is why payday can feel exciting for a few hours and empty by the end of the week. The money arrived, but it was already assigned. It had somewhere else to go before it ever had a chance to become yours. And if this repeats every month, you begin to feel like the problem is always income. You think, if I just made more, everything would finally change. But if the habit is to let money leave, more money often just creates more expensive exits. A raise becomes a nicer apartment. A bonus becomes a vacation you cannot really afford. Overtime becomes more takeout because you are exhausted. A higher salary becomes a bigger car payment. More income becomes proof that you can handle more obligations. And suddenly the raise that was supposed to save you becomes another reason your monthly floor is higher. That is why the money you keep matters so much. Keeping money is not about being cheap. It is not about being afraid to live. It is not about refusing every comfort. It is about making sure your work turns into something that stays. If you work all month and nothing remains, then your paycheck served everyone except your future. It served the landlord. It served the lender. It served the credit card company. It served the subscription platforms. It served the restaurants, the apps, the stores, the payments, the old promises, and the image you are trying to maintain. But did it serve you? Did it create safety? Did it create options? Did it reduce pressure? Did it make next month easier? That is the question most people avoid, because it is painful to admit that a lot of income can move through your hands without improving your position. But that honesty is where change begins. You do not become financially stronger by only asking, how much can I earn? You also have to ask, how much can I keep? That second question is powerful because it shifts your attention from appearance to ownership. Earning is visible. Keeping is quiet. People can see the car, the clothes, the apartment, the trip, the dinner, the upgrade. They cannot see the savings account you protected. They cannot see the debt you refused. They cannot see the payment you avoided. They cannot see the emergency fund that lets you sleep. But your life can feel it. Your nervous system can feel it. Your future can feel it. The money you keep is the part of your income that becomes power. It becomes the money that lets you handle a surprise without panic. It becomes the money that lets you leave a bad situation. It becomes the money that lets you wait for a better opportunity instead of grabbing the first desperate option. It becomes the money that lets you invest consistently. It becomes the money that lets you say no. And in real life, the ability to say no is one of the most valuable things money can buy. A person who earns a lot but keeps nothing may still be forced to say yes to things they hate, yes to overtime they do not want, yes to a job they cannot stand, yes to debt they should avoid, yes to pressure from other people, yes to bad timing, yes to fear. But a person who keeps money slowly builds the right to pause. That pause is freedom. This is why your money retention rate matters. Your retention rate is the percentage of your take-home income that actually stays with you. If you bring home $5,000 and keep $500, your retention rate is 10%. If you bring home $5,000 and keep $1,000, your retention rate is 20%. If you bring home $8,000 and keep $200, your retention rate is only 2.5%. That number tells a deeper truth than income alone. A high income with a low retention rate can still produce stress. A moderate income with a strong retention rate can create real progress. This does not mean income does not matter. Of course, income matters. But income without retention is like running faster on a treadmill. You feel motion, but you do not gain distance. The goal is not only to make money move, the goal is to make money remain. And the first step is to understand where it is going. Most people do not lose money in one dramatic moment. They lose it through repeated claims, fixed costs, monthly payments, subscriptions, debt minimums, insurance, rent, car loans, food habits, phone plans, convenience spending, emotional purchases, little automatic charges that never ask permission again. Each one may feel manageable by itself, but together they decide how much money is allowed to stay. A $50 charge here, a $100 payment there, a car payment that seemed normal, a credit card balance that was supposed to be temporary, a subscription you forgot, a lifestyle you slowly accepted as the new baseline. Then the month ends and you wonder why nothing is left. The answer is usually not one thing. It is the stack. The stack is what keeps people trapped. A stack of normal payments can quietly defeat a good income. That is why wealth building is often less glamorous than people expect. It is not always about finding the perfect investment, the hottest stock, the smartest strategy, or the next big opportunity. Sometimes it begins with stopping the leaks. Because investing 10% of your income is hard when 100% of your paycheck already has somewhere to go. Saving feels impossible when your monthly floor eats almost everything. Debt payoff feels slow when every extra dollar becomes lifestyle relief. So before you ask why you are not building wealth faster, Ask how much of your income is being allowed to stay. The number might be uncomfortable, but it gives you power. If you do not measure retention, you will confuse effort with progress. You may be working harder, earning more, and staying busy, but your actual retained money may be barely changing. And if retained money is not changing, your financial life may not feel much better. This is why a raise can be dangerous if you do not decide what it is for before it arrives. Extra income is vulnerable. It arrives with no memory. If you do not assign it to freedom, the world will assign it to consumption. A raise can become a bigger apartment before you notice. A bonus can become a shopping weekend. A better job can become a better car. More money can become more proof that you deserve comfort. And you do deserve a good life, but you also deserve a future that is not always under pressure. You deserve money that stays. So when more income arrives, the first question should not be, what can I upgrade? The first question should be, how much of this can I keep? If you get an extra $500 a month and keep all of it, that is $6,000 a year. If you keep half, that is $3,000 a year. If you keep none, the raise may improve your lifestyle, but it does not improve your position. This is the difference between earning more and becoming wealthier. Wealthier means your options increase, your margin increases, your ability to handle life increases, your future becomes less fragile. Lifestyle alone can feel good today, but margin changes how tomorrow feels. The money you keep is margin, and margin is what makes life less frightening. A person with no margin is always one surprise away from damage. A car repair becomes a crisis. A medical bill becomes panic. A late payment becomes a spiral. A slow work month becomes disaster. But a person who keeps money builds a wall between life and crisis. At first, that wall may be small, $100, $500, 1 month of expenses, then 2, then 3, then more. It may not look impressive, but it changes everything. Problems still happen, but they do not hit as hard. You start making decisions from stability instead of fear. You stop needing every paycheck to rescue the last one. That is when money begins to feel different. Not because you suddenly became rich, but because some of your income finally stayed long enough to protect you. The strange part is that keeping money often feels boring in the moment. Spending gives you immediate feedback. You buy something, you see it, you use it, other people may notice it. Keeping money gives you quiet feedback. The number grows slowly. Nobody claps. Nobody compliments your lower car payment. Nobody congratulates you for not upgrading your phone. Nobody sees the automatic transfer to savings. But quiet is not meaningless. Quiet is where strength is built. The most important financial moves often look unimpressive while they are happening. Paying down a balance, avoiding a new payment, cooking instead of ordering again, keeping the raise, choosing a cheaper normal, waiting 1 more month before buying, moving money to savings before the world touches it. These are not dramatic, but they change the direction of your life. Because every dollar you keep is a dollar that did not become pressure. Every dollar you keep is a dollar that did not become someone else's revenue. Every dollar you keep is a small piece of your future coming back to you. This is why the phrase, "I can afford it," is not enough. Affordability only asks whether the payment can fit. It does not ask what the payment prevents. You may be able to afford the car payment, but can you still keep money? You may be able to afford the apartment, but can you still build an emergency fund? You may be able to afford the subscription stack, but can you still invest? You may be able to afford the vacation, but are you using debt to recover afterward? A life can be technically affordable and still leave no room to grow. That is why every purchase should be judged not only by price, but by what happens to your retention rate after it enters your life. If something lowers your ability to keep money month after month, it is not just a purchase. It is a claim against your future. Some claims are worth it. Housing matters, health matters, tools that help you earn may matter, experiences can matter, comfort can matter. But not every claim deserves a permanent place in your paycheck. You have to choose. Wealth is built by choosing what gets to stay in your life and what does not. If every desire becomes a charge, your income will never feel large enough. If every convenience becomes a habit, your paycheck will keep shrinking emotionally. If every raise becomes a lifestyle upgrade, you will always need the next raise just to feel okay. So build a rule. Before you increase your lifestyle, increase the amount you keep. Before you upgrade the visible parts of life, upgrade your margin. Before you reward yourself with another payment, reward your future with more breathing room. This does not mean never enjoy money. It means enjoy money in a way that does not destroy your ability to keep some of it. You can spend and still build wealth, but only if keeping comes first. The order matters. Most people try to save what is left after spending. But if you save what is left, you are letting every other force decide your future first. Rent first, lenders first, apps first, stores first, restaurants first, convenience first. Then your future gets whatever remains. That is backwards. Pay yourself first is powerful because it makes your future the first claim, not the leftover claim. Even if the amount is small, the order changes your identity. You are no longer only a payer. You are an owner. You are saying, before this money serves everyone else, part of it will serve me. That is how retention becomes automatic. If you wait for motivation, the money may already be gone. If you wait until the end of the month, life may have already found a use for it. But if you move money first, you create a new default. And defaults matter more than willpower. A person with good defaults can build wealth quietly. A person with bad defaults has to fight every month just to stay still. So make keeping money easier than spending it. Automate savings, separate accounts, remove unused subscriptions, pay down small recurring debts, avoid new monthly payments, delay upgrades, put raises into savings before lifestyle can absorb them. Track your retention rate once a month, not to shame yourself, but to see whether your life is actually becoming stronger. If your retention rate is 0, start with 1%. If it is 5%, aim for 10. If it is 10, aim for 15. The number does not have to become perfect overnight. It just has to move. Progress is not always dramatic. Sometimes progress is keeping $100 that used to disappear. Sometimes it is reducing one bill. Sometimes it is refusing one payment plan. Sometimes it is letting a bonus survive more than a week. These small wins teach your brain that money can stay. And that belief matters. If you have spent years watching money disappear, you may unconsciously believe that money always leaves. So you spend faster because keeping it feels temporary anyway. You tell yourself something will come up. A bill will take it. Life will need it. I might as well use it now. That mindset is understandable, but it keeps the pattern alive. The only way to break it is to create proof. Proof that money can stay. Proof that a paycheck can become savings. Proof that a raise can become margin. Proof that your bank account does not have to empty itself on schedule. Every dollar kept is evidence. Over time, evidence becomes confidence. Confidence becomes discipline. Discipline becomes freedom. One of the biggest traps is comparing income instead of comparing retained money. People talk about salaries. They talk about revenue. They talk about how much they made last year. But almost nobody says, I kept 20% of what I earned. I kept my raise. I kept my bonus. I kept my costs low. I kept enough to buy back time. That is the conversation that matters. Because a high income can hide a weak financial structure. A modest income can hide a strong one. The person with the expensive lifestyle may look ahead, but the person with the higher retention rate may be quietly passing them. This is why you should never let someone else's spending pressure you into raising your costs. You do not know their retention rate. You see the purchase, not the payment. You see the trip, not the debt. You see the car, not the anxiety. You see the lifestyle, not the margin. And even if they can afford it, that does not mean it belongs in your life. Your job is not to look wealthy. Your job is to become financially stronger. Sometimes that means earning more. Sometimes that means spending less. Often it means keeping more of what already comes in. The strongest financial life is built from both sides. Increase income when you can and protect retention always. Because if you earn more and keep more, progress can accelerate. But if you earn more and spend more, the feeling may never change. More income gives you a bigger shovel. Retention decides whether you are digging out or digging deeper. So ask yourself this month, what percentage of my income will remain mine? Not what did I earn, not what did I deserve, not what did I plan to save if everything went perfectly. What will actually stay? Then look at the answer without drama. If too little stays, do not attack yourself. Attack the system. Lower one fixed cost. Cancel one thing. Renegotiate one bill. Stop one recurring leak. Delay one upgrade. Pay off one small claim. Create one automatic transfer. Keep one piece of the next raise. The goal is not to become extreme. The goal is to become consistent. Money kept consistently becomes financial muscle. A little kept every month becomes proof. Proof becomes safety. Safety becomes options. Options become freedom. And freedom is not built by the money you impress people with. It is built by the money that quietly stays. This is why you must protect retained money from emotional spending. When you are tired, stressed, lonely, bored, or frustrated, spending can feel like relief. And sometimes a small purchase is harmless. But if relief spending becomes the reason nothing stays, then your emotions are controlling your retention rate. You are not just buying an item, you are trading future calm for present escape. The better question is, will this make my life better after the moment passes? Will this purchase still feel worth it when I check my account next week? Will this raise my floor? Will this reduce my margin? Will this become a habit? These questions create space between feeling and spending, and space is where better decisions happen. You do not need to be perfect. You need to interrupt the automatic pattern. The automatic pattern says money comes in, money goes out. A stronger pattern says money comes in, part of it stays, then life gets to use the rest. That order protects you. It makes your future non-negotiable. It tells every bill, every ad, every app, and every impulse that they do not get the whole paycheck. Some of it belongs to the person you are becoming. That is the heart of wealth building. Not just earning, not just budgeting, not just cutting. Ownership. You own the part you keep. You control the part you keep. You can direct the part you keep. You can use it to build a buffer, remove debt, buy assets, create options, and reduce fear. The part you spend may be necessary, but it is gone. The part you keep is still working. That is why the money you keep matters more than the money you make. Making money opens the door. Keeping money walks through it. Making money creates potential. Keeping money turns potential into power. Making money can improve your lifestyle. Keeping money can change your life. So the next time you get paid, do not only celebrate the deposit, watch what remains. The remaining money tells the truth. It tells you whether your income is building anything. It tells you whether your lifestyle is too heavy. It tells you whether your raises are helping. It tells you whether your future is being funded or ignored. If the number is small, that is not the end. It is the starting point. Increase it slowly. Protect it carefully. Respect it more than appearances. Because one day, the money you kept will become the reason you had options when other people had pressure. It will become the emergency fund that stopped panic. It will become the debt payment that freed cash flow. It will become the investment that grew quietly. It will become the decision to wait, leave, rest, move, help, or build. It will become freedom, not because you made money once, but because you kept money over and over again. Income is important, but retained money is transformational. If nothing stays, nothing grows. If nothing stays, every month starts over. If nothing stays, you are always dependent on the next paycheck. But when money stays, even slowly, your life begins to change direction. You stop being only a channel for money to pass through. You become a place where money can gather, strengthen, and serve your future. That is the shift. Do not only chase the money you make, protect the money you keep. Because the money you make shows what you earned this month, but the money you keep shows what your future can become.